Very good. My name is Todd Oppenborn. I was born here in Las Vegas. I grew up here for most of my life. I went to Las Vegas High School right downtown. Joined the Navy after that. After my years in the service, I went to UNLV on the GI Bill, got a Bachelor's of Science degree there. And ever since then, I've been in the environmental field, working some almost 20 years now. Most of my working life has been with one way or another the military. Other than being in it myself, I now work out in Nellis Air Force Base and have for the last 5 years in their environmental department as a project manager. I've also worked for several contractors that are working for the military in my past history. And right now I'm running for this office because more or less I was politically, I was always voted. I was never real active, but I just had to start doing something. After the last year and a half or so, 2 years, I first noticed things was going wrong way back when George Bush, after 9/12, didn't close the borders and the ports after we were attacked. In my opinion, a country at war that doesn't control its own borders and ports is not a country at war. So that was my first inclination that things weren't quite going right. Things started deteriorate since then, and now with this present administration, I can see the writing on the walls, so I had to get motivated. I had to get off my couch. I got tired of having a stroke every time I watched the news, and that was basically got me motivated to go to the 9/12 Project and the Tea Party group, and that's what got me actually motivated into doing something active. So I've been to all the tea parties here in town, except for one. I missed the one out here at Harry Reid's hometown at the Searchlight. I've got my parents are in the hospital right now. They've got some problems, but I've been all the rest of them. I was at the one over in Washington D.C. Great experience, enjoyed it incredibly a lot, and I was asked to run for this office by some people that thought I could do something for the state and the country, and I decided to agree, and here I am. So I'd like to answer any questions you may have.
I'm sorry, were you ever in the military, or did you have any?
Yes, I was. I was in the Navy.
In the Navy?
Yes. Good for you.
We're having issues. I'm sorry, my name's Ken Wegner, U.S. Army retired.
Oh, very good, very good. I've got a nephew in the Army right now, as a matter of fact, 101st Airborne. Yeah,
all right.
Trevor Oppenborn. He jumps for the Golden Knights right now.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, and he's over in Afghanistan, served tour there, and he's back now. And like I said, he's jumping for the Golden Knights.
Okay, my quick question is, many soldiers are coming home with what they call PTSD. Once they go to, because of the new law, and we found out it is because of the Virginia Tech shooting, that now the federal government requires that all states turn over their medical records. And now our soldiers are coming home after serving their country, and they're losing their Second Amendment right because they are now being deemed having a mental issue, even though I can already see how you're going to go on this. So it's very good. I'm going to change this question. No, that's fine. Would you absolutely put in front of legislation that once a soldier's been deemed mentally sound, that he could have all his rights restored, for instance, his right to carry a concealed weapon? Again, my name is Kenneth Wegner, U.S. Army retired.
Well, my name is Todd Oppenborn, and to answer your question, yes. In fact, I'll go further than that. One of my core principles, what I'm running on, is the legislature of this state must be a shield for the people of this state for the things that are coming down from Washington, D.C., that we all can see coming to us right now. That's one example, and you can name it. Click off, cap and trade is another one, and you can go to another is health care. You know, Nevada's going to get straddled with a health care bill coming up here through this bill for over $10 billion. Now, that's the Medicare bill, so they're going to be shut down in the states. Now, where in the world this legislature is going to come up with that money? Well, I'll tell you where it's coming from us. That's another good example of how the legislator has got to be a shield for the state and stand up for the state and state sovereignty. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
I actually have a question.
Sure.
Now, with that last question, I'd like to tack on, would you, if you were elected into the assembly, would you be for a bill to protect those, create a state privacy law for those veterans' medical bills, just like we have with the private corporations and keeping the shareholders anonymous and not reporting to the IRS? Would you be for a privacy bill for the veterans on a state level?
On the face of it, from what you just say right now, I'm sorry, my name's Todd Oppenborn. On the face of that, from what you just described there, yes, I can see going for that. I don't see any reason why people's medical records, which should be kept private anyway, should be open for public viewing by anybody. So I see no problem with that.
Hi, my name is Maria Donovan. Have you signed the Taxpayers Protection Plan?
I'm not aware of the tax. No, I don't think so. I'm not aware of that one.
What are your views regarding the taxes, the tax increases, all the taxation?
My name is Todd Oppenborn. For the state or federal? On which level are we talking about?
State, of course, you're
State.
working.
Yeah, state.
No, but playing into being a shield for the state, I'm going to try to. Well, for the state, yes. Not only do I think that Nevada's heading in the wrong direction in that regard, I think the increases that have just been put forth have not only got to be stopped, but rolled back. Right now, I think you all may have read the article in the Review Journal about what they plan on doing in the future. And it's only the beginning. They are going to actually make this state the most business-unfriendly state in the nation if they get their way with it. And that I see just driving the state into the ground. So what we've got to make it is the most business-friendly state in the nation. And that way, we diversify our economy. We can get away from the strip, get other things like manufacturing in the state, actually. I think we've got several good opportunities with manufacturing. I mean, heavy manufacturing. That's the way I would like to go and see us grow in that direction. But as far as taxes go, yes, I think we should definitely get to a different direction completely, 180 degrees.
Rowena Richards.
I believe this question was asked earlier. Would you support the idea of working towards someday lowering the lotteries in the state?
My name is Todd Oppenborn, and lotteries in the state, I don't care. I don't have any, it really doesn't, I don't know that much, it really hasn't banged my bailiwick. I don't know what the pros or cons would be for it. I know how other states do it. Another form of gambling here, I don't know, I just don't know that much about it.